welcome to Lockdown LAN number 2, Total Annihilation, 1997, so just before Windows 98. The first, I believe, three-dimensional RTS. It introduced the concept of macromanagement. You don't need to micromanage every unit, you don't need to micromanage every command, you just set up patrol routes and they do it. I can see that Brian is running at a substantially higher resolution than me. Now, back in the day, this was considered such an advantage, you could force people to run at the same resolution as you. Some of the maps required more RAM. Do you have 96 megabytes of RAM?
Other unique features about this game.
So you could hide units behind walls. You're going to have an AI on your side. You're that confident about my skills. That's fine. I can't remember anything. It is frowned upon to use nukes. You have to use the cursor key to scroll around the map. And then all the shortcut keys on the other side of the keyboard. We're on the moon, so don't bother with wind turbines. If you play it faster, you might not be reacting. We can go down to -10.
Ooh.
You put the game speed to 10, but it would say square brackets 3, Dave Spice, to show you which of the people playing the game was slowing you down. That's the ones you went after. We weren't nice at all. Very amateur playing this because I'm having to click so much. I feel like I should be using more shortcut keys. I can't because there aren't very many. I can't reclaim unless I select an order, a unit, and then select orders. But isn't that only with the orders menu up? Select a unit, then press 1 for orders, and then press E for reclaim. It doesn't have its shortcut key, which is silly because all the menus absolutely do. There's absolutely no scaling whatsoever of UI. There, Kerbal Space Program also doesn't have that. Choices in Kerbal Space Program at 4K are UI too small or UI really too small. If you're old, wonderful clear voice, unlike me or Brian, and you want to play some games with us, please let us know. Some Doom, I played so much. I'm well into nano storage now, so I'm just sitting here going, I don't have enough energy because I'm really good at the game. Nat can just regale you with stories about gaming when it was rubbish. It's certainly come a long way. Let's phrase it that way. Construction yard, I can't pause it. In Subcom, you can say pause this construction yard, but I can cancel my build queue, which I really don't want to do. If I want to assign this to section 1, Control 1 is assign and Alt 1 is recall, which is stupid because 1 and 2 select orders or build. Bizarre setup. For the time, very much ahead of the other. StarCraft was definitely a step back. Metal Fatigue, we've Commander, Superbuild Commander 2, Planetary Annihilation. There never really any other really good RTS games. It all went the more of an APM game, the actions per minute. How quickly can I play back my build orders as opposed to strategizing? I always had a very specific strategy that sometimes worked and sometimes didn't, which I won't go over in chat because obviously Brian has a massive advantage because not only can he hear everything I'm saying, but he can also just look at my screen. Some of my best victories in TA were ones where I would hide units under a cloak and like sneak units in and then have an entire artillery setup sneaked in. At 2 o'clock in the morning, all the clocks went back to 1 o'clock. So we all got kicked out of TA. Ryan, whatever. And then we went back into TA. But then, of course, all our clocks were at 1 in the morning. And an hour later, all the clocks went back again. Back then, Windows 95, I didn't understand the concept of having your computer on during rollover. It's like, oh, just build loads of nukes. Like, yeah, just build nukes after playing it for a couple of hours, sure. But you don't start by building tons of brawlers. You have to kind of work your way up to it. Like, if Brian started to attack across brawlers, by the time that I noticed that he built 2, I would just go straight for artillery. We don't even get proper ranges. We get radar ranges on the minimap, that's it, but not turrets. Suggesting tactics like that. Just build 20 of the best thing in the game. Red alert, just build 50 mammoth tanks. Only if the opponent lets you build 50 mammoth tanks. Confidence in Vega, because you've just flown your constructor. You made the first move there. You flew it into me. I'm not going to be held responsible for that one. What am I learning? I have massively not built enough solar connectors. Aircraft are the fastest but weakest. Vehicles are the slowest but best, and K-bots just sit in the middle. I think a lot of TA for me was about managing build queues more than saying, oh, I'll put those first, I'll put these next. This was one of the first games with proper team-based play. Like you were playing as a team. Previously, people who sort of have an agreement never to fight each other. The best way to win at Homeworld was to make an alliance with everybody else in the game. So if there were 4 people playing, you were player 1. You made an alliance with players 2, 3, and 4. And they say, oh, I'm going to attack player 3. So you just send your ships in, which probably fight nothing. And you're always on the side of the winner. You could easily have everyone in one alliance because the alliances were secret. So sometimes he just goes, you've won, because the last 2 people have decided to be friends and everybody was friends with everybody else. A nice way to end, but not really very... didn't make for good gameplay. I'm surprised they didn't patch that out, or at the very least going, this is the last alliance, are you sure? As long as I'm confident I can't lose, I'm quite happy to drag this out a long time.
Put a big enough gun on and suddenly my base will be flat. Big Bertha and Krogoth Gantry. I can never remember what the two were. I remember without getting the tech trees open. Of course, the manual was good. Oh, secret. You know, oh, great.
Really? It's like, no, you're the manual. You kind of have to tell me. Little things like the cursor keys scroll the map around. Shift and cursor key does not scroll the map around quicker. If you hold shift, it shows you the orders.
I keep building aircraft. I'm like, why am I building the same thing over and over? This isn't how the game works.
You tend to build a lot of the same thing over and over. Your commander blows up your base up. You can also do it so a commander means the game doesn't end. You just carry on. Don't usually go with that one because then basically you have to win twice. Is he as stupid as having built another basic aircraft plant?
Third attempt at mostly building the right one. I was like, oh yeah, it just doesn't let you build the basics. No, it still builds the basics. Just hoping aircraft can repair aircraft.
They can, or you can build an aircraft repair pad, which is definitely a better idea. To be fair, again, to give them their due, they very much invented this sort of stuff. Warcraft had none of this. You couldn't even queue up orders in Warcraft. Subcom, you could tell one factory to guard another factory. So then you had one factory, you said build, and all the factories would copy it, and that was great. There's nothing like that in this. You can't even select multiple factories and tell them to do the same thing. You have to select each one in turn and say, you do this, you do this, you do this. A new update, but I don't think it supported multiplayer. Zed was, again, a very good RTS game, but had quite a major change that you had to think ahead. You couldn't react. So if I run a lot of tanks into you, you can go, oh shit, build a factory and start spaffing stuff. In Zed, if you hadn't thought ahead, that's it. You were boned. You had to plan your strategy. If I see Brian building a nuke, I can build a nuke defense, or I can send in a shit ton of bombers within, 5 minutes, which is what it'll take him to build it. But in Zed, if you weren't thinking 15 minutes ahead, you were screwed. If I was playing viciously, Brian would have been dead. How long have we been playing? 17 minutes ago. But that's not fun. So a lot of the reason I stopped playing games competitively is it's not fun. TA could last 5 or 6 hours of heart-pounding adrenaline. When you finish, it's like, oh, thank God that's over. It wasn't, yeah, awesome. I'll take this anymore. My heart is going to give up. Zoom, a little bit more, that's fun, because it's, it's a few minutes. You go, oh, thank God that level's over. Oh, I won, or you beat me, whatever. If you beat me at Doom, it's all right, you beat me at clicking. If I beat you at this, that means I beat you at thinking. Same as I don't like playing chess. Someone might beat me, and it means they're better at me than thinking. So deep into metal storage, it's ridiculous. Should have played on a metal map. I've picked up all the metal around. There isn't more, but I'm not sure I can get away with taking it without you causing me grief.
Red alert. There was no energy storage.
In June 2, definitely you had silos because the harvesting stuff. Red alert, you have to increase your unit cap, I thought. Yes, I am the current UK reigning Total Annihilation champion. I won in '99. The Supreme Commander was a good update to this. TA Spring, modern source port of this. Fully open source remake. Krogoth Gantry requires 15 minutes of metal at my current metal generation rate. Obs, I can't just say normalise these two streams. In this day and age, it's just so awful to try and normalise volumes. How annoying the K-bots were. When you try and build something with them, they're like, oh no, I'm too close. Move out of the way and build it then! Come on guys, help. I do like the sweeping planes though, the way they move, the nano stuff. Native res, mini-map is about my 32-inch screen, maybe 2 centimetres across. When I download this, it's on Steam. £4. And it works. We haven't modded it, we haven't tweaked it. There is a patch, we haven't installed it. We are literally playing this on DirectPlay 5. Testament to the engine programmers that it still works. 3 years later? UI, on the other hand, that's good. The UI's alright, it's the shortcut keys that are bonkers.
At that time, the world wasn't sure what the hell was going on. It's on a Heretic we've been playing recently. The controls are different for each. Hold on, I want to use the same set of controls in every game. But people started going, oh, arrow keys are a bit awkward to hand in, go and do this and that. Different sets of controls like WASD and things,
When we were working on Black, within 8 weeks of release, and we were still using a custom control system. And eventually, we beat down the designers and we said, look, just give it the Halo controls. Left trigger aim down sights, right trigger shoot, left stick move, right stick aim. Done. And they fought and they fought and they fought and they had their own system. It was better than Halo's. We're like, yeah, but everyone just wants the Halo control system. In the end, they did, and it's much better for it. That's a lot of energy storage, Brian. You don't seem to build any more solar panels.
I think this is one of the only games that actually had a lot more thought put into it. Tactics and countering of things.
Warcraft 1 and 2 were very much action-reaction games. You clicked to build stuff, reacted very quickly. It wasn't, you didn't think ahead, you didn't plan, you didn't strategize. So there, I thought you might do something silly, so I had a whole bunch of planes and bombers ready. Because you started to make a real mess of my base then. Subcom was very good because you had the shields, so you could actually stop people chipping away at your base. They had to do conscious attacks. I like to point out I'm not touching the keyboard. If I win now, this is Brian Commander's entire stupidity. To be fair, I've lost a whole bunch of games in my time. Commander's wandered off, started to hit something, and then all of the enemy bombers have jumped on him.
What I don't get is why the commander's always limited to just Tech 1.
You wouldn't bother teching up, and you could start by building Tech 2 stuff. You have to build Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3.
No.
You also can't tell factories to guard things in this. I'd like to tell my factory to guard my planes. That's not a thing in this. I can't see your commander's health. That's annoying. Too close. There you go. Where I'm attacking it, that's the closest I can hit. Range limit there. Or is it? That totally is.
You can't say reclaim and then build on this. You can't queue those two orders independently.
Build is not a valid order before the thing has been deconstructed. Does anyone remember how much energy a metal maker takes? Look in the manual. Oh no, it's a secret, sorry. I really said the tech tree was a secret.
You've got ARM and you've got core. Basic structures, solar collector, wind generator, yada yada. K-bot lab. That makes Pee-wee, Hammer, Rocco, Jethro. Construction K-bot. And then the construction K-bot makes basic structures. And the advanced K-bot lab. The advanced K-bot lab lets you make other things.
Now, I can't remember what the ones were called in Subcom, but the big badass ones you could make, all they were good for is drawing enemy fire. I don't think I ever actually won with them. Yeah, go and attack, and then people just put all their firepower onto it. So multiplayer, but we would use it as a distraction, the feint, because they were too focused on that. And at that point, I had, 200 planes coming around while they're all focusing on how I killed the big guy. I have a kitten. She is forbidden from precisely 2 square feet in my house, starting at the left-hand side of the keyboard, finishing at the right-hand side of the keyboard. And I think we can all guess what her favourite 2 square feet in the whole house is. Yes, it's on my keyboard. You sleep there. Shh, no biting. Don't bite me or I will set fire to you. I will shave the left-hand side of your face. You're a good girl. You are. Come on. Daddy needs to murder the evil arm people. You're biting me. They'll wrap their claws gently around your finger, and she does it as a bit of a dominance thing. And I pulled out the nail trimmers, and it was brilliant because all her claws went straight back in. She's like, "Oh no, hold on, oh damn it, my bluff has been called." We both get ARTs. Okay, all your turrets suddenly become fucking lethal because they will just start targeting things automatically off the radar. Without that, you have to pick targets manually. 44 minutes. I am being very kind. I mean, because we're in unmapped, there's very limited tactics. I mean, I spot you building the big barrel about 4 seconds after you start building it. There's no sneakiness. I can tell you what your issue is right now. You've got 7 solar panels. I'm at 1,600 energy, 15 solar panels, and working on my 3rd fusion reactor. Once you've got power, you can just go willy-nilly on Metal Maker. So you just need to think bigger. It's the same thing with Fortschrift. People ask me a lot in Fortschrift, what should I do? And the answer is the same thing, which is build more. Build more of the same thing. Build more of whatever you can't afford. Metal and energy, you should always be spending as much of it as you can. You build a total of about 8 metal extractors, but I can build unlimited metal makers. Ratio is horrendous though. 625 energy for 12 metal, and these are 3 metal for 12 energy. Each one of those is equivalent of 4 metal makers. I can't just make 4 metal makers. Oh, you do have. You've got a vehicle factory. But that's my point. You've got a vehicle factory. It's not doing anything right now. It should be making something. It looks like you've just lost most of your solar panels because something flew in range of my turrets and they decided to kill it. I'd say sorry, but all's fair in love and war. I never played Command & Conquer. I played it after Red Alert. I felt like a really bad Red Alert clone. Red Alert 3 was amazing because it was the only RTS game I know of where you could play the campaign co-op online. That was brilliant. The problem with it, it's too scripted. Subs have come up and it was just like scripted event, scripted event, scripted event. Whereas TA was mostly, oh no, we're in a canyon, win. You're like, I can win, I'm good at winning. Oh no, we're on a docks, win. We can do winning on docks. Come on guys, chop chop, build faster. What's track? T for track, yeah. This came out 23 years ago, which is more or less the last time we played it as well. I wonder when I last played it was. It would have been 2000, I guess. There is a button to select like all. Subcom lets you select all inactive units. I'm sure of that. So Kevin, thank you. So most of the shortcuts were control and some letter. I can't even remember what I asked you. I remember control D twice is self-destruct. I remember control C is commander. Control Z was select all units of the same type. There was definitely a select all flying units, which was a bit rubbish because good ones and all your bad ones. Like it's like everything. Wasn't very useful. All ships was generally more useful. My got about 80% built now. Control A is all units. Is it Control V for... Oh, Control V is all... Oh, cool. Here we go. Because I am getting old here. Oh, stop firing! Oh, you didn't. Microgroth didn't even get into firing range. That still counts as a win for me. I'd like to make that clear right now. You were saying, oh, I've made loads of energy, loads of metal. So look how much energy I produce. That's the only real deciding factor between us, was I just created so much energy and so much metal so I could build whatever I wanted. A strong economy.
There is speeding the build time up, I think. It's getting more things attempting to build it. Is that right?
Which, yes, absolutely. Which requires more metal and more energy. If you're in nano storage, if you're waiting for a constructor and the green beam turns off, you should absolutely increase metal or energy. Whatever is limiting you becomes your highest priority. Let's give you an AI though, because I feel that was unfair and you were struggling to remember what the hell anything did. Metal worlds are interesting and good if you want lots of high-tech stuff. And Sherwood, which just typed in massive caps for some reason. This is patch 3.1, which does have the hovercraft. And I want to do this level just because it says big surprise in the centre, but I suspect the surprise is a bunch of metal.
Can we play against an AI, or is that just too easy?
The problem is the AI, they're not very good. They just sit there and occasionally do something. They don't even try. They just occasionally sit there and then occasionally they go, I'm happy to play against you and an AI. No problems. That will mean I will get harassed, and that means I definitely have to struggle. Oh, that loading time is like it used to be 30, 40, 50 seconds, and you're always like laughing at the guy with the 4500 RPM drive, and the one guy with the Raptors was like, noobs. Oh, this is a very pretty looking map.
It's very difficult to build, actually.
Right, I can't see you on the map, therefore have a question. Are we actually on the same team? It just works. Buy it on Steam. It's $4. It just works. I had to open up 1,001 ports on my router. That's not an exaggeration. I literally had to open up 1,001 ports on my router. We haven't done anything. We have just bought the game, had the game, and I played it for literally 1 minute going, feel cleansed having unpirated the game. Just worked because it was direct play. In Subcom, there was a way to automatically set metal and energy share levels. Oh, it has 4,000 metal. Okay, stop that. You're wasting. Where are you in the scheme of things?
No space and no metal.
But they've got huge amounts of metal, those little... Where are you?
Bottom right.
I've never seen this map before. This must be a... Was it Battle Tactics was the expansion? It looks really cool. Contingency was extra units, but Battle Tactics, I believe, was just extra levels. Menu for interacting with people. H. Aha. Share. Map info. Still can't see you. Let me build a little radar dish down here to see if that helps me.
Let me just chuck 580 at you now.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Subcom that has an auto share, so you could properly and excellently do team games. One person could just only focus on power. Now, either that's you or that's bad guys. So I'm going to put a turret. What colour are you?
Blue, I think.
Ah, I think I may have just found the bad guys. You said you're in the bottom left.
Bottom right.
That bottom left, right. Yeah, I just sent some units to the bottom left. I'm going to nuke this AI, by the way, it looks like, because he's crap and an idiot. Not on purpose. Well, slightly on purpose. Actually, I don't think we get to choose the AI difficulty in this, did we? You do skirmish, but there wasn't an option as far as I know here. Also, my commander decided not to reclaim any metal. This is a weird level. It looks cool in a very 256 colour 3D studio sort of a way.
If you don't set on metal extractors or anything, it's all about energy and energy extraction.
Put a constructor on patrol and it will just reclaim anything if you don't have enough, if you're not at full metal. And they'll also suck up energy things. How's quarantine going for you then, Togmia? 16 days quarantine? I went out today and I got fucking pulled over by the police for being out. Where are you going? Getting dinner. All right then. The next thing I see is a guy on a motorbike without helmet doing fucking wheelies. There's so many police at the minute, so I flagged down a policeman and went, just down the left, there's a guy on a motorbike doing wheelies, and they're like, thumbs up and sped off. Surprised how much police is out there, because we've been told there hasn't been enough money for police and blah, 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 and suddenly there is, so that's good. People just aren't taking the lockdown seriously, and it's been really, really nice here today. I was going to go to the arcade, but everybody else cancelled, so I couldn't be bothered to go by myself, so did some work instead. Also, these pools of water don't appear to be actual water.
So you can build on them.
More importantly, I can't build shipyards on them. I like the ships in this game. They're a really simple tech tree. But yeah, the metal scratches of this one's got like 5,000 metal in it. The metal scratches of an awful metal.
Is Willie Gates building 6,000 metal?
Bill Gates is the second largest donator to the World Health Organization. Like, he donates more than the US, which is just insane. Are the GATs that much more expensive than the pulverizers? Oh god, yes, they're 10 times more expensive. Okay, bad choice of weapon. Cancel, guard, then select repair. What's repair? Reclaim is E. Repair is
Oh.
I am smart. Sharing chosen units is fun because it means you can give me a constructor and I give you a constructor, and it means you can build a second base. And that was always a good tactic for team play. And it means that then you can build core units and I can build arm units. I have to click on it and then click OK. It's not real time. I have to share my current map with him every time I want to share it. I can't believe you can actually build any tanks in this level though, because they're going to get stuck on everything.
That's why I'm using aircraft.
Yeah, that's better. I can't click out of total annihilation because when it loses focus, it just closes. Okay, I found the enemy commander. He's really close to me. Pee-wee rushing was balanced out a long time ago. Also, there's always a gentleman's agreement. You've always got to give it 30 minutes. Start going hell for leather. It's not a strategy game otherwise. It's just a lot of pushing and shouting. A-bots balance between vehicles and airplanes. Airplanes just move so much quicker. Really a mobility thing. But they don't move a bit quicker. They move a lot quicker. As a rule, it's easier to build 2 airplanes than 1 vehicle. If a vehicle gets blown up, it does 0. Whereas one of your 2 planes gets blown up, it does, you know, a half. I've primarily favoured airplane builders just because they are a lot quicker. Do you really have enough energy to be building that many metal makers?
No.
You can toggle them off and on. And buzzsaws are not as good as you think. So Intimidator, you can build it, you can get away with it. But a buzzsaw, you can almost never build it. You never get to build a buzzsaw, and they're shorter range than Berthas. Like my plan at this point is to delete the range targeting. One thing I do miss from Subcom, I have to build one thing, then click again, then shift click, and then build a bunch. You can't drag a whole range of things to build. Yeah, the adjacency bonus was annoying because that was more or less what people tell me not to in Fortress Craft. That just says you're playing it wrong. Play it like this or else. Okay, we've got a war going on here. Yeah, I know it's under attack. It's the one shooting. The problem is the line of sight. So this is kind of a desaturated map. So it's very hard to see how far you can see. Thinking, though, that given the terrain, diplomats might work better. T2, vehicle, rocket, not missiles. Missiles are game enders in this. My construction aircraft is complaining your fusion reactor is in the way of its solar panel. I've got fusion online now. Get some moho metal makers up. Yeah, there are boats. Beware. You can fit boats in the water. Guess who's burning a shipyard? In Subcom, you had to build a power plant next to a factory, meant the factory used up less power. Probably also build some airplane pad repair. I can't even say the things. Auto repair debris. Guys, what are you doing over here? You're going to get shot. Right, you got shot. Got shit surrounding you, by the way. I assume they're planes, so you get some anti-aircraft defences up.
I was trying to find the answer storage.
There isn't one.
Oh, it's just the boring basic one.
Moho metal storage? I don't think there are.
Missile tower. Does that was when?
Oh god, they got brawlers.
It doesn't tell you whether it's anti-air or anti-ground.
I don't think there's any real concept anti-air and anti-ground. They're just that some of them are better at shooting things in the air than others. I think a Big Bertha will shoot planes, but only if it's got nothing else to shoot, and it almost will never hit them. No, I've seen it hit them. It's hilarious. If you look at the top of your map, you need to get some guns up there, like now.
On it. Got a queue. Oh, they're in the queue.
Right, you need to start a second queue with them at the top of it. You start running tanks in there. I have loads of turrets in your base, but they can't see anything. I'm surrounded. I'm in a really bad situation here. Right, I was building diplomats. What happened with that? I got distracted. Oh no, I got blown up. That was it. You need to build a radar and then realise how hemmed in you are. You ain't building anything any further north other than... Oh my god, my turrets are hitting your tower. There's friendly fire on turrets.
They're shooting through it.
No, they don't. They just blew it up. It's gone.
Yeah, they're shooting through it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Shot at it because they missed the items were going through to shoot something else.
The tier 1 turrets are nearly always good enough. Do you have an advanced radar dish up?
Yes.
Can you build a second one and give it to me?
Yes.
See that solid cluster of white above you? You need to basically start setting units into that. If your units can see something, your turrets can see it.
Okay, long-range plasma cannon. That sounds good. Let's build some of those.
What did you just build? What's it called?
Intimidator.
Really? Why do you get to build it? And how much metal does that require?
4,000.
How much metal have you got?
300 at the moment.
Got plenty of subs, so no one is going to be... Now, unless the AI is smart enough to build sub killers, which I bet it's not. Subs are usually really, really, really good. I'm just out of metal, so this level is interesting because it's almost entirely moho metal. So you can't rely on that, so it's not much use.
They're shooting at my guns, but they can't because there's some metal in the way.
So I've just sent a crap plane in, and now my turrets can see it. They're letting rip at it. The metal that's in the way has health, by the way, so it will get shot through. Oh, is that your submarine? So I've just found his submarine base. Why are these guys not attacking? Fire at will. They're not attacking yet. It's alright. I've just got fire by hand for some reason. Yeah, so you're building like one of the highest range turrets in the game. First of all, it won't target shit unless you've got line of sight. Secondly, I doubt you have the power to run it. Time to start making some diplomats. Let's make 35. Diplomats basically do not suffer from any of these. Turrets don't shoot stuff in range unless you can see them. Diplomats have no such qualms and just let rip at anything in range. I'm going to put a radar targeter up there. I'm going to move this thing out the way because that's what's jamming up all my vehicles being made. Good job. Your Intimidator's done. You need to turn it on, by the way. That's how much energy it requires. It doesn't fire by default. You will almost definitely, though, need a radar targeter. Or sacrificial planes of some sort. I usually just send in the scout plane. There we go. Scout plane's going in. Scout plane's mapping. Scout plane's dead. They've got Intimidator coming online, by the way, so I'd estimate you've got about 3 or 4 minutes in which to establish your dominance, or it's all going to go get a bit briefly wrong. I am making a mess of the AI. Yeah, it's not messing around in this game, though. Normally, they are genuinely rather ineffectual. Radar targeting facilities, about 80% done. Missile frigates are getting a pounding now. Landing aborted. All pads are occupied. Oh, yeah, I can hear the impact of it. Yeah, so we took too long. I think we're going to get wiped. Then again, I have a lot of these, so let's see if that helps. Not really. I don't know if we share radar targeting, but it's now online. Diplomats have actually made quite a big mess of the enemy now. The problem is they take about 3 seconds to shoot anything.
How much metal storage have you got?
Metal storage 7,000.
7,000,
yeah. If you click on your Intimidator, how many kills has it got?
1.
Well, it's doing something right.
1 lousy kill.
I mean, 1 great kill. What are you talking about? Well, I've got radar targeting, so that's good. So now I can defensive tower into his base. And I've got an Intimidator coming up, but it's only half done. Apparently, I put it just outside of the patrol of all my planes, so I decided not to join in. Yeah, I paused it. Dora paused it. Guess what button you have to press for pause? Yes, you press the pause button. Subcom did improve a lot of things. I forgot about the auto sharing, so you could genuinely do good team play. In this one, you would have to just keep sending me metal and energy, and you don't know how much spare I've got, so you could be wasting it, or I could be desperate for it, and you'd never know. I'm trying not to go just all brawlers, because that's usually what I do. You don't have any units. Are you not going to build any units?
Nope.
How are you planning on winning?
Guns.
Can't really win with just turrets. I was kind of hoping you'd have some tanks.
I can't tell where to rally though. That's the one thing this doesn't have.
Yeah, it does. Just let move factory. Or patrol. You can set factories to patrol. Subcom did know what it was doing because Subcom lets you just say how many to build, unlimited. And you can just set up a factory that just sends stuff in constantly. Did this cheeky AI actually hop onto my base? This is my bit he's been building in. Okay, Evelyn, you can't... Don't forget your unit cap's 250.
They're hungry, but they're worth it because you give you metal. Yeah.
The basic metal makers you should get rid of as quickly as you can because the basic metal makers are very inefficient. The Moho ones are inefficient, but massively less inefficient, and that just got fucking big berthed. It's tempting just to sweep in brawlers, by the way. I'm building this factory here, 100 bombers and sending them north, but they will give your turret, which you did build not in a great place, they will give it line of sight. That will make it absolutely lethal. Because I've built one and I forgot to turn it on. That helps.
The good thing about this game is one unit can start building, run away and start building something else.
Yes, there's always a good chain to sort of rebuild knackered bases with. Medium to long range thing that requires no line of sight. You want the diplomats, which are built by the advanced vehicle plant.
Things take a while to build. If you have more things to apply the nanolathes, can you build it faster?
Yes.
If you went stupidly overboard on units, can you build things really quickly?
In Subcom, because there's no particular limits to the number of units, you can build like the highest level things in a few seconds. But here, because we have a hard unit 250 cap, you'll struggle to leverage enough resources. There's a magic ratio of auto repair pads, but I don't remember what it is. It's like 1 per 10 planes or something. Yeah, these long strips of bridges, they are really making a mess of those long range cannons. But quite importantly, that's why we're alive. It's because otherwise the AI would have come right through us. Did we really want a buzzsaw, by the way, Kevin? Are you going to sulk if I don't make a buzzsaw? I like doing with construction planes is selecting all of them and adding a patrol near something I really want built. Just make the patrol route bigger. If you've got a lot of bombers, send them to red.
I don't know. I haven't seen red yet. I haven't revealed him.
Let me give you a radar dish. Didn't I give you a radar dish? I forgot to share it with you. So as far as I know, Red is in a lot weaker state. I've got a lot of turrets trained on him. I've done a lot of damage to him. We're more likely to get Red out. If you send them all in white, I think you'll just lose them all.
Yep, there we go. He took his AI out.
We usually turn that off. I forgot that was a thing. Oh man, my buzzsaw won't get to do anything.
It fires at will. I don't know what it does.
It's just a gun. Click on the Doomsday weapon. Press A for attack. Now move the cursor away till it tells you you can't fire. And move it back a bit. What's the max range on it? It's got a cool name, but it's just a turret.
Very, very short range.
It's a pretty good weapon, but it's not like, oh wow, it's just a turret. Buzzsaw is about 8%. We generally eschew the use of missile. I can win this game in 15 seconds if I had a missile launcher. You just go 3 nukes, click done. And unless they built missile defense, you just win. Rock, paper, scissors, missile. Everyone goes, oh, I'll have missile then. You just tend not to bother because otherwise it's just a tech rush for missile attack. Turrets do not target things on the radar. Turrets only target line of sight. With the radar targeting facility, they target radar-based things. I'm going to have to blow a hole in a barricade with my diplomats. No, there's like a big barricade, but I told my diplomats to blow it up and they're just like, no. It's alright, I've got loads of airplanes that I will tell them to. Guys, oh, bugger. I'm at full metal, so yeah, let me give you 10,000 metal. I need to empty my metal, so otherwise they won't reclaim anything. I need them to reclaim this barricade. There you go, I built a buzzsaw. It's not very long range, the buzzsaw. Yeah, that's it, that's as far as it can reach. Wait for it, here comes the sound of the buzzsaw. Oh yeah. Now if there's something in the way, it will just fire forever, which is annoying. If there's a wall in the way, it will just go boom, 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 for hours and hours and hours. There's not that it can't hit it, it will continue to fire bullets. I'll try and build another one closer, if I can build that before Brian manages to get his nuke up. And let me give you this unit, just this one unit. Chosen unit share. Look where I am, you're asking if you can build stuff quickly, if you have enough stuff. You've got one unit. You can just see some. You should see some blobs on the radar. Can you see how many I've got? Got what, 100 airplanes there or something? 20% built. Currently at negative 8,000 energy, because that's how much I'm spending. 150 metal. This is why you use planes, by the way. Someone asked about planes earlier. Limit is about 8 K-bots and about 6 vehicles. Your limit is unlimited planes. I did like Dawn of War. Dawn of War had some really nice moments. This one really sort of get that big moment, like 50%. Oh, come on. Buzzsaw with the auto-targeter will make, well, I hope, very, very quick work of that base. Okay, Buzzsaw online. There it will. I notice it's not spinning. Ah, there we go. It's spinning to fire at something. Oh, yeah. Now, unfortunately, because of the line of sight, I can't see what it's blowing up. I can just look at the explosions. Explosions! Mr. Talkmist did an AMA, and one of the questions was, what is your favourite type of explosion? He goes, that insinuates that some kind of explosions are not as good as other ones, which is fucking quitter talk. That's it. The AI, he's screwed now. How short the view was on most units. So Stronghold was a knights game, so you build castles and catapults and stuff. The problem was the game fundamentally revolved around having enough knights. Knights fundamentally needed food. The best food in the game was bread. So you ended up with a game which was basically building a very, very large amount of bakeries. Hundreds of bakeries you would build. They're intimidated, took out my buzzsaw. Rapiers, I'm cranking out about 1 every 2 seconds. You can't see my radar dots, can you? You can't see my units. That's a bit silly, it doesn't share that. Is it Supcom, I think, that invented a much better sort of sharing universe? Take out that fusion reactor. Big bada boom. We haven't won. There's a huge amount of enemy base to blow up still. If you kill the enemy commander, you win. Yeah, found him. He's there. Point at the screen. It's about me lot. We're going to be playing Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance. Take your turn and then hat your Game Boy onto the next person who took their turn. Long journeys with 4 of us. But I'm hoping a few people are watching these videos back with a little bit of nostalgia, going, oh, I remember this. Commander is visible, by the way, at the top right now. I haven't got enough firepower to take him out. There's a huge amount of anti-aircraft defences. What you'll do at this point is just wait to hit unit cap. If you play TA on the original, by the way, you had the CD in the drive, and every time you got attacked, the CD would spin up. So you knew when you were about to get attacked, as it changed the music, the whole game froze while it did that. Come on, come on. Ah, I didn't get him. Yes. Oh, he had a decoy commander. Motherfucker, he had 2 decoy commanders. Holy shit, that was 100 planes I sent in. Going with en masse tanks now instead. Tanks are a bit slow to build because I had to wait for the tank to actually exit the facility. So tank built, tank is leaving, next tank. These are the biggest tanks in the game. So I just select one from team 1 and then tell the rest of team 1 to guard that one. Okay, my tanks are rolling in. Okay, I found the commander. I'm impressed at the fight the AI put up. I think a lot of it is because there was so much metal, and I think the AI did a very good job of picking up the metal. There's at least 3 decoy commanders on my screen. Yay! Nicely done. Let's see who won then. Got so many losses.
It's the Windows desktop. It comes back.
Yeah, it's because it changes the resolution to 8x600. If you look at the winning player in a game like this, it is nearly always the one with the most energy and metal that is the winner. I'd like to continue doing this. I'm not sure how popular it will be. If nothing else, I can look back on it in another 20 years and going, remember when there was that virus, the one that didn't turn everyone into zombies? Thank you for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. I'll be honest, I don't really know what that means or when they added the bell, but this is what all the cool YouTubers are doing.